My last challenge run I did was with Krojiro only, or as I like to call them, frogs with a stick. I stare up at the starry sky and I can almost see a frog with a stick in the stars. Froggo instantly went into the fight with Implode, and wow. That's all I can say.
Father help!
In today's video, I'm going to be attempting to beat Palworld's second tower using only PALs that were released in the Palworld Sakurajima update. You may be looking at this challenge run right now and be saying, hey, isn't that Frogman from the last challenge run? And well, you'd be right. I know some of you may have wanted me to continue Frog with a Stick only run, but I decided to use this save to continue from where I left off. I'm doing this because if I did this video from scratch, I would do exactly what I did in the Frog only run, because realistically, the only new PALs that I can get from the Sakurajima update at the level I'm currently at is going to be Krojiro and Dazemoo. Now, to save your precious time, dear viewer, I just thought this would be the best way to go about this. Okay, so let's talk shop here. The next new PAL I can get will be a Dazemoo. Some of them spawn in the Anubis Desert, so let's first do that. While I'm on the hunt for a Dazemoo, let's talk about some restrictions here. If I find a lucky PAL, I'm still gonna kill it or run away from it. The only lucky that I can get is if it is one of the new PALs released in the update. I won't use any of the old OG PALs for base PALs or really anything aside from breeding to get new PALs. This will still make the challenge quite difficult, but I am here for it. While on my way to find the Dazemoo, I did run into a Meemog. I trapped it, knocked its health down quite a bit, and then I caught it. Happy to have you on the team, buddy. I found a group of Dazemoo and I just went to town. My goal is to just catch as many of them as I can. This was going well until a Digtoy started fighting me, then the Dazemoo's friends got into the mix, and then to top it off, as if that wasn't enough, there was a syndicate camp whose members wanted a piece of all this action. This was chaotic. Very, very chaotic. Nonetheless though, I did catch 5 Dazemoo until me myself was taken out like a big piece of trash. Dang it. That's fine. We caught a lot of new PALs. That's all that matters. Once respawning back at my base, I looked over the PALs that I had caught and changed my team up a bit. Buff Froggo and Mother Earth have left our team, and we are now adding in Dazemoo and Meemog. It feels a little sad having them go, but I'm excited for what the future holds. I spent quite a lot of time getting materials to start building up my base. With me having the ability to get more PALs now, a lot has been opened up to me. As of now though, there's nothing new I can do per se. So everything I'm doing here is just preparations for when I can get some new PALs. I first built a logging site and a stone pit. After that, I spent some time trying to figure out where I'd make my breeding farm. I made a platform that I thought would work and look cool, but I just ended up demolishing it because I could not get the breeding farm to place for the life of me. After a lot of trial and error, I came up with this. It isn't perfect, but I'm liking the vibe here. The first PAL I want to get and breed for is going to be a Suitseer. Not only is Suitseer one of my favorite new PALs, it has some great work suitability. Level 3 kindling and handiwork, level 2 mining, and level 1 gathering and farming. It's a great all-around PAL, so I'm going to catch its soon-to-be parents. Looking at the PAL breeding calculator, it looks like I can breed a Univol and a Sweepa together to get one. So I have been in the bamboo thicket looking for some Univol with good passives. I caught a few Univol. I didn't really find anything too amazing, but hey, we got 1/2 of a breeding pair, and that's worth its weight in gold. I only caught one Sweepa that had bottomless stomach. This will for sure need to be replaced, but I went back to my base, crafted the Tundra outfit, then went to the Anubis Desert to fight Lovander. Lovander can drop cake, and I need said cake. Now granted, it's a 1% drop, so this might be a very long time. I ended up fighting X Lovanders. That's what I said in my script. I planned on counting all of them out, but honestly, I'm not feeling like it, so I just fought a lot. You know, I fought a lot of Lovanders. I gained a lot of experience, but sadly, I did not get the cake that I needed. It is what it is. It would have been fantastic getting it the first night I went out, but what are you gonna do, right? Once the morning sun rose in the sky, I stayed in the desert for a while. I was trying to catch another Sweepa, but I was running out of ammo and literally everything in the desert wanted me dead. There was a big cash bounty on my head, it seems, or something like that, because again, everything wanted me dead. I finally succumbed to my defeat, but not before throwing a final PAL sphere. I was able to catch that Sweepa during my respawn screen, which is always hilarious. This Sweepa has heated body, which really isn't anything amazing, but it's far better than having bottomless stomach. So all in all, tonight was a win, even if I didn't get the cake that I sought after. I learned how to make Dazemu's saddle, then built the PAL gear workbench. And then I completely forgot that I needed ingots to craft said saddle, so that kind of sucks. Which means I really just need cake. That's it, I just need cake. While I waited for night to fall again, I decided to run around gathering materials. It was a boring day, but it was a needed day. Night was coming, and I decided to get to the desert pretty early in hopes of spending as much time as I could hunting Lavander. On my way there, I did run into another Lucky, and I just decided to run away. You know, I wasn't feeling it today. I got to the desert and started my hunt. The night was fruitful in the amount of Lavander that spawned in for me. The moon shined down and I used the moonlight to make sure the aim of my bow was true. Not gonna lie though, I really wish I had ammo for my makeshift handgun. This sucks. I don't like using the bow. Even if the moon is making my aim true, I would much rather just have my aim be like somewhat okay with, I don't know, a gun? That would have been awesome. Anyway, I once again took on quite a lot of Lavanders, and night 2 was a bust. I wasn't able to get any cake, so I went back to my base, defeated, and I had my first raid happen. Okay, very first raid of our small little camp here. It looks like what? It's 3 syndicate thugs? This should be fun. Oh, they're only level. Oh, this feels mean. Level 1 and 2. Aww. They're doing their best. Look at them go. Sick. What a crazy raid. Wow. My main goal is cake. You know, that's the main goal. But I'm getting bored. I'm getting so bored of grinding said cake. So, I went to fight Bushi. Things went well. Me and Shigard had Bushi's number and took it down relatively quickly and easy. After this, I took what small amount of treasure I had, sold it at Fisherman's Point, then bought what ammo I could. This is indeed a very, very slow and arduous grind, but we're making progress. Ever so slowly, but progress is progress. Literally, the only thing that's stopping me from progressing right now is getting cake. I don't even have the ability to make my own cake right now, so I don't have any options. I don't have the work suitability. So, as I waited for the sun to drop, I had a meteorite fall into the sand dunes. This was actually incredibly exciting for me and this run. Oh my goodness, we have Xenovator now. Okay. Alright, there's one Xenovator. He's gonna catch this next one. Oh god, I only have one more Megasphere. Oh no. Okay, never mind. Cool. Alright, so we have Xenovator now. Oh my god, that is so exciting. I'm trying to remember its work suitability, but I know for a fact that it can cut trees, and that's gonna be awesome to have in the base. But I don't think it really does anything else aside from that, but I don't know offhand. We will go back and check once we're done with killing all of the Lavander out here. So yeah, let's do that. Although my nighttime was cut into pretty deeply because of the meteorite crash, I didn't mind because having Xenovator is going to be amazing. I, once again, still did not get any cakes for this night, but progress was made and I'm not going to complain. The 2 Xenovators I got were alright. The one I plan on adding to my team is the one that has otherworldly cells and insulated body. The one with Swift will be put into my base so it can start gathering me wood. I put the Xenovator to work, I made some arrows, I repaired my gear, then I started to mine for stone. I had to go do some wedding things, so I just kind of decided to let my character mine for stone while I was away. And you know, this turned out to be a wonderful idea. Okay. I've been gone for about 2 hours, and it seems like we have ran out of food. Uh-oh. Oops. Uh-oh. Hang on. You're good. There you go. You just chill in there, okay? But we have 2,500 stone and 1,700 wood. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, cool. Yeah, oops. I feel awful about making my Xenovator starve. So after I finished doing a small addition to my base, I spent the rest of the night harvesting berries. It's the dawn of a new day, and I think it's time to take on some bosses. I first fought Bushi, and I will be doing this every hour or so I can continue getting ingots while I wait to get a cake. I then fought Quivern, but I completely forgot to record that, so just imagine what happened. I beat Quivern. There you go. Anyway, I'm back at my base now, and I'm gonna try to make the 3-shot bow. I know this isn't a huge upgrade, but I can't use my makeshift handgun right now, as it's about to break. I then decided to go take on King Paka. This fight wasn't too hard by any means, and I really wish I just had more than a bow to fight. I'm doing such a little amount of damage. You know, I miss my makeshift handgun. I am happy to have Xenovator on my team though. Having all of those dark moves is wonderful, and not to mention, Xenovator casts all of these moves so fast. It's kind of insane. I fought Catris after this, and the fight took a while, and don't get me wrong, I was really close to death because I got burnt, but it doesn't matter, we won anyways, and I even leveled up to 25 because of this. Right when I got out of the fight with Catris, a supply drop fell. I traveled over there using my trusty Krojiro, had Xenovator fight off the Syndicate thugs, then claimed my prize. The main thing that I got here was 2 speed remedy that gave me 50 extra work speed each. I got back to my base, planted and watered some berry plantations, then I just kind of waited for nightfall to continue my hunt for cake. I hunted for oh so many Lovander. I realize as I hunt these pals that the more I look at them, the more uncomfortable they make me. I was wondering when one would drop one singular cake. Would they ever drop a cake? I didn't know. I was dreading how long it would take for me to find said cake, but my fears were laid to rest shortly after that. Oh my god, we have a cake. We got a cake! Now that I've finally, after God knows how many nights and how many Lovander I fought, I'm finally able to start the breeding process. With these 2 thrown in, it's finally time to progress in this run. While waiting for those 2 to give me an egg, I ran around and I picked up as many berries as I possibly could. After my gathering run, it was time to hatch my egg. Oh my goodness, it is time. If I did this right, this should be a Soothsayer. This should be a Soothsayer. Please, please be a Soothsayer. Please, God, be a Soothsayer. It's a Soothsayer! Oh, we have our first fire pal! Okay, Meemog, as much as I love you, we don't need you in the party anymore. Soothsayer, get your butt in here. And then we don't need these 2 breeding anymore. This is very exciting. So we can make a furnace, and then we can start, we can enter the age of metal. Oh, this is great. With this new pal Soothsayer, it was indeed time for the metal age. I first crafted a primitive furnace. I can only make 5 ingots right now, but man, did this feel good. It is officially time for a mining run. On the way to where I was going to mine, I decided to take on Chillet. Why? Because I can. And now I'm here and it's time to mine. This is where I put in my notes that I was going to put a PAL box down so I could teleport back and forth to get ore, and I had full intentions of doing that until I realized that I never upgraded my base level. This was annoying, but whatever. I filled up with what ore I could, and then I went back to my base. I upgraded said base to only realize that I couldn't upgrade it to a high enough level to get to the point where I could have another base. Mother Hubbard, this is becoming a thorn in my side. Fine, Palworld. I will just continue walking back and forth until I get enough ore. I honestly kind of lost track of how many trips I made, but you don't really need to know that. After I slipped into the gaping maw known as insanity, I decided it was time to stop. And I have 529 ore as of now. Granted, I could have gotten more, but this will have to do. I leveled up Suitsir's work speed with the PAL souls I had, then I had Suitsir get to work. This was awesome to see. Progress was being made, and I couldn't be happier. I took some ingot from the furnace, and I made a high quality workbench, and then I finally repaired my makeshift handgun. I picked up some more ingot, and then I was finally able to make Daismu's saddle. And boy, oh boy, was I stoked for this. Oh my god, this is so much better. I don't think you guys understand how many hours I've already put into, like, the frog run, and then now this new PAL run. And not having a mount, and being forced to just walk everywhere, it's horrible. I would not wish it on my worst enemy. So needless to say, this is amazing. This is so good. Look at this. Look at me. Oh my god. Absolutely phenomenal.
This right here is my favorite thing ever in the history of forever. I think about this every day. I think about this all night long. I stay awake, not sleeping, because I'm thinking about this.
It was finally time to gear up, and the first thing that I made was heat-resistant metal armor. I then made 120 bullets for my makeshift handgun. I worked on my base, and I made a new platform for an ore mining site. Once this was done, I assigned Suitsir to that task. I made myself a crossbow, then decided to start making cement. I don't know when I'll need it, but I do know that I will need it at some point. I used the rest of the gunpowder I had, and then I made another 170 bullets for my makeshift handgun. I wanted to spend some time working on my base. I decided to have this serious Krojiro stay as a base worker. It will be making me paldium fragments and watering my crops. Speaking of crops, this brings me to the next PAL that I need, Shroomer. Shroomer is awesome because it has level 2 planting, gathering, and lumbering, and level 1 handiwork. But what really makes this PAL a cut above another planting PAL like Lulu, or Lulu, is its partner ability, Swishy Spores. This partner ability will trigger when it's assigned to a base. It will help keep other PALs' mental stability high, which is always a plus. I highly recommend getting one of these guys for all of your bases. Now the breeding combo I'm going to be using is going to be a Gale Claw and a Sweepa, since I already own a Sweepa. So let's go get a Gale Claw. Before I went to catch a Gale Claw, I did run around for a while collecting berries so my team and I would have food. I then got a fun shot of me and Daismu. Why does it look like I'm telling Daismu a secret? I found a group of 3 Gale Claw and I ended up catching 2 of them and taking out the other. After this, I decided to run around for a while. I took down a Robin Quill, and because of that, it leveled me up to 26. I went back to my base to put away the loot that I had already gotten, and then I figured my next move would be to maybe potentially try to make my own cakes. I started to prepare my base by making a cooking pot, only to be interrupted by my sworn enemy.
Oh god, not the bandwagon fangirls rating. Oh no. Yeah, so, you can have Lavanders raid your base. Isn't that gross? But I have a gun, you know? So, like, we should be fine. Good job, Lavanders. That was awesome. Did either one of you drop a cake? Nope.
After taking out all of the Lavander, I made a mill. With that, I can do a few things, but I think my best bet right now is to run a few dungeons to get some more treasure to sell. But first, it's time to name some PALs. Daismu is now known as Tails. Xenovator is now Salad Fingers. Suitsir is now Cole. And the base Krojiro is now Serious Sam. Now that that's done, it is definitely time for dungeons. I ran around the surrounding area and did roughly 3 or 4 dungeons. All of these were incredibly easy as they were level 13 dungeons and I'm level 26. I ran over to this abandoned church to get the fast travel point only to be disturbed by a noise. And you know what noise I'm talking about, dear viewer.
Do you guys hear that? To me, that sounds like a lucky thwack. And you know what we do to Lucky Flack in this run? We kill it. We don't want no Luckies in this run. No, 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 no. Bad Luckies. Bad.
With that Lucky Flack out of my mind, I kept running some dungeons. I did one more dungeon, then I went back to my base to drop off my loot. When doing this, I realized it was time for a change. I wanted to change my storage system and make this room just look a little bit better aesthetically. So I did just that. I added in some new shelving, added in some lockers. You know, it's still not perfect, but it'll do for now, and I don't know, the whole feng shui of the place just feels kind of better. You know, there's a certain zen to it. I crafted a mega shield, and then a mega glider. Now that I've made my base just a little bit better on the eyes, I set out to the small settlement to sell off my treasure. I sold off my treasure and I bought some wheat. After this, I sold off a couple pals. I then put wheat into the mill, made a new hot spring for coal, and honestly, look how cute he is just sitting there. Like, wow. Goodness gracious. And then I headed to where I knew I could get me some honey. I fought as many Bee-Guard and Elizabeth as I could. I only had to stop because I ran out of food. I went back to my base to deposit all of the items I got. I helped out with farming, and then I went to the small settlement to buy the other ingredients I needed for cakes. I bought all the other ingredients, and then I put She-Guard on the task of making flour. I did a lot of random things while I was waiting for her to make flour. I helped out Cole by mining in his place, and I kept forcing him to take a break in the hot spring. You know, Cole's such a hard worker, but he just doesn't watch out for his mental health sometimes. And honestly, in 2024, mental health needs to be talked about more. It's a very important thing. I also did a lot of farming, and honestly, it's kind of nice just doing this manually sometimes like this. It makes me feel like this game can just be a slice of life game where you just hang out with some cool creatures and a farm that you built and you're just living the slow life. I kept working until She-Guard was done, and then it was time to bake some cakes. I can currently make 8 cakes. Although I am excited for this, we're gonna be here for a while. I couldn't wait any longer. I had 1 cake done and I decided it was time to breed a shroomer. That was when I figured out that the Gale Claw I caught was male. So I had to go back to catch more. On my way to catch more Gale Claw, I had a meteorite crash land. I accidentally killed one Xenovator, but I did catch the other, so that was really nice. After mining all of the meteorite for the fragments I could get, I left this area and I went and found all of the Gale Claw I could. I found a couple females and caught both of them. I went back to my base and I got the Sweepa and Gale Claw to start breeding. At this point, it was just a waiting game that all of us are aware of. I did some things around my base, I made more beds for my pals, and I came up with a fun little design where they'd all sleep around a fireplace.
Okay, we have our very first Verdant egg from these two. This better be a Shroomer. It's a Shroomer, and it has Downtrodden. Are you kidding me? What does Downtrodden do? Oh, defense? Okay, I don't care. Get in there, Shroomer. Welcome to the team. Okay. I want to get another Suitseer, because I want to keep one Suitseer in my team. So we'll have those two breed, and then we'll keep a Suitseer at the base, doing base things, and then we'll keep Cole on our team. So, yeah, let's wait for that.
With Shroomer and Suitseer in my base at all times, it's becoming more and more self-sufficient, which is always a great sign. Right now, I have another 2 cakes, which means I can breed for some new pals. What's next, you may be asking? Well, before I start breeding for fighting pals, I want to get my base even more self-sustaining than it already is. So, I want a Lulu, or Lolu. I don't really know how to pronounce that yet, but I would literally bet all of the money in my bank account right now that there will be multiple comments correcting me on my pronunciation of that. Anywho. It has a wonderful partner skill called Floral Boost. This skill will essentially make my crops grow faster, and who doesn't like fast-growing crops? The best part about all of this, all I need is a Rush Roar since I already have a Univolt. Before I went out to catch the Rush Roar, my Sweepa and Univolt had another egg, which meant we now have 1 base Suitseer, and Cole the Suitseer will now be joining our party. Anywho, it is now time to go and catch some Rush Roar. Catching these were an incredibly easy task. The coolest part about this is I got a Rush Roar that has infinite stamina. I'll need to check the breeding calculator later to see if I can breed a Daze Moo with infinite stamina. But anywho, I started breeding the Univolt and Rush Roar. Lulu will be mine soon. I know previously I told you guys to get a Shroomer in all of your bases because it helps with PAL's sanity levels, but honestly, get a Shroomer in your base and let it cut wood. Because look at this. Alright, it is time for more eggs. And by eggs, I mean one singular egg. But nonetheless, this should be Lulu? I don't really know. But anywho, here we go. Yes. Oh, I'm so excited. The base is becoming more and more self-sufficient, and that is absolutely amazing. Alright, so crops will be growing faster now. We have 2 planters, we have multiple waterers, we have more gatherers. Yeah, this is awesome. Now that we've done this, we can probably look into catching fighting pals. Well, sorry, breeding for fighting pals now. The main thing I wanted here was base pals that could make the base sufficient and just function on its own. And now it does. So that's wonderful. We just now realistically only have to start preparing for tower bosses. So let's go to sleep and I will tell you guys what the next pal we're going to be breeding for is. I want a Noclum, like really bad. To get one though, I need a Grizzbolt and an Elizabeth. I have no issues getting to Elizabeth, but Grizzbolt will be a different story. Grizzbolt is only found in the Wildlife Sanctuary 1, which is in the middle of the ocean. The only flying pal I can get out of the new pals that were released in the Sakurajima update is Helsifer Lux, which isn't really an option for me since I need to be level 52 to unlock said saddle. So I have a dilemma. I'm going to just try to run out to the sanctuary and see if I get lucky. So here we go. Okay, so let's first try to make a really big ramp. My thought process is here, I'll be able to get just enough momentum to glide pretty far into the ocean, then hopefully just be able to, I don't know, like maybe swim the rest of the way. I don't know, man. I already built this, so let's try it. Do you guys ever, like, spend too much time on something? You know, like, you just keep trying to figure out a way to make it work. And then the whole concept of the sunk cost fallacy comes in, and then you're like, wow, I probably shouldn't have done this. Well, that's what this whole thing was. So, yeah, I spent a lot of time doing this, and I didn't need to. I literally just ran across the ocean, and I got there. I finally got to the Wildlife Area 1, and I have full intentions of this taking quite a while for me to find a Grizzbolt, since it's a rarer spawn. Okay, yeah, no, I lied. I did not spend a while looking here. I wrote in my script that I was gonna spend a while looking here, but I have been here, I literally just got here. And there's the Grizzbolt. Heck yeah. Alright, well, let's do this. God, it has bottomless stomach. That's gonna be a problem. Okay, I guess I am gonna run around until I see another Grizzbolt as a just-in-case measure. Bottomless stomach I would prefer not to have as a passive. So, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna cut into me either finding another Grizzbolt or me giving up. So yeah, I'll see you in a second. Oh, goodness gracious, there's our Grizzbolt. Please, just don't have a horrible passive. That's all I ask. You know, motivational leader, I'm good for that. Alright, awesome. Yeah, let's go back to the base. So the Grizzbolt I caught is a female, which means I'm gonna need a male Elizabeth. And you know what that means, it is time to go hunting. It took a little bit of time finding an Elizabeth, but I finally found one, and it was the only one I found, but it was indeed a male. My luck was pretty incredible at this point. I was able to catch it, and then I went back to my base to start the breeding process. I decided to get my hands dirty while waiting for the next egg, and I worked alongside my suits here, mining for ore. The time was here though, and I saw my rocky egg in the breeding farm in the corner of my eye. I ran over, and I instantly hatched it. Oh my goodness, and it's an alpha? Wow, I got so lucky with this. That is amazing. If you have really good taste in games, tell me where the name Steiner came from. If you know what this reference is from, you get 10 points. Congratulations. Welcome to the team, buddy. We're happy to have you. Let's see how big you are. Oh my god. That is amazing. Wow. Now that I have my team fully set up, it is time to level up and prepare for Lily and Lyleen. First things first, I'm gonna need to upgrade my base so I can have more than one base, because I really need a lot more metal. Which means some more mining runs are in order, but whatever. I got my base leveled up, then I headed out to my mining site. I built the PAL box here, and finally started to mine. Me and Steiner were having a blast when this chillet came up and purposely decided to get hit by one of us. I'm assuming this was some sort of insurance scam, but I don't know. This caused a fight, in which Cole came out and took care of the issue. We got back to mining until my pick broke. Then I came back to my base and I made myself better tools. With these tools in my possession, it was time to get to grinding. During me and Steiner's grinding session, we had a raid happen. It kind of blows me away, because first we had the chillet that walked up on us for the insurance scam, and then we come back here and there's a raid. I don't know if it's our luck, but whatever. I let Steiner get in there and flex his stuff. I helped him out a little bit at the end, but once this was all done, we finished up mining and got to smelting all of this newfound ore. With all of this new ingot, it was time for an upgrade. I found this blueprint for an epic metal helm, so I of course crafted it. I then crafted what gunpowder I could, then I made some more course ammo. Okay, now it is time to get to some dungeon running. I ran quite a lot of level 29 dungeons. In doing this, I leveled up to 28, and then I leveled up to 29. I gathered up all of my treasures, and I bought as much course ammo as I possibly could. I had some in my boxes too, I guess, so after all is said and done, I now have 409 bullets in total. I don't know if I can beat Lily and Lyleen at this level, but honestly, I'm gonna try it. I'm here at the tower, and as I wait for my health to fully come back, I ponder if my team is strong enough. I'm definitely worried here, but honestly, that's not gonna stop me. I'm always worried. So let's just do this. The fight with Lily and Lyleen was like any other fight with them I've had in the past. The only issue here was, since we were somewhat under-leveled, the damage we were putting out wasn't all that amazing. Usually during this fight, I always like bringing wicks in to get a fire aspect on my weapon. Without having that, I was doing roughly 250 damage per shot. My dodging was pretty good, and I was pulling my team in and out at all of the right times. The fight went on for a while, but using Cole the suit seer for this really helped out. Cole was for sure the VIP of this whole fight. The lower Lyleen's health got, the more excited I was getting. The fight was coming towards its conclusion, and to put a nice bow on this story, I decided to use She-Guard to deliver the final blow to Lily and Lyleen. Ooh, we did it! And She-Guard got to do the last hit. Oh man.
that was pretty crazy. I'm pretty stoked about that. Shoot. Yeah, I don't really know what to say aside from thanks a lot, Cole. You're awesome. Thanks, dude.
And with that, this concludes today's video, dear viewer. What did you think of it? Would you have gone about things better? Let me know down in the comments below. But anyway, that's all I got. Bye!